I'm John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high and low. Cinema Classics.
Cinema Classics is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to shows Thursdays at 8:01 p.m. on WCBE 90.5 FM. And listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Wayne Miller. And here we are together again, doing a movie review.
And this is Cinema Classics.
Yes.
You know, recently I've had a few variations on the rom-com theme.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite has been
Materialist.
Materialist.
Yep.
Got that right, yeah. And then one that I'm doing today with K.G. Klein called Oh Hi.
Oh, hi.
Right,
Yep.
again about a different imaginative take on the romantic stuff. But we've got a hardcore romantic,
Woo!
not necessarily comedy here.
Yeah. No, they do call it a dark comedy, you know, reading several reviews. That they say that you either cringe or sometimes you laugh out loud because of the realistic feel of a real life married couple, Alison Brie and Dave Franco,
Yeah.
and James Franco's brother,
Yeah.
and who's also an excellent actor. There's a realistic feel to their relationship and bantering and bickering back and forth because they are two really kind of opposites in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Married in real life, and
Yep.
it seems to bring something to the screen. Who knows what it is, indefinable, but a very good togetherness
Yes.
for the two of them.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, there's something pretty gritty about this. The whole body horror,
Yes.
David Cronenberg type.
Yeah, which is interesting. I know we'll probably discuss it more during our podcast, Double Take. But there's a whole new subgenre of that. And I started reading about that over the weekend of the subgenre of horror type movies, you know, that include things like serial killers and zombies and vampires and blah, blah, blah. But the subgenre of the body horror that really, it's not monsters, they turn into monsters. And one of the very recent ones that I liked with Bruce Willis's ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
And she was
Demi
even
Moore.
Yes, nominated for Academy Award
Yeah.
for it, and called The Substance.
Yeah, that's a great allusion.
Yeah.
That's right. So this is not new business. And yeah, what the body horror stuff, I think you're alluding to it, is the terror is interior.
Exactly.
And right in
Yes.
the body, not outside, but in the body.
And we can relate to it. We can relate to it more than like being eaten by a zombie or bitten by a vampire or zapped by an alien. And
Yeah.
so, and something about that, as we grow older and our body changes, that we kind of realize, you know, certain things. But also, I think what makes this a very relatable movie is that you and I have both been in kind of couples like this couple in the
yeah.
film, but we definitely know of some other ones because she's more the boss of the family and has an education. She's a teacher, and he's kind of like still hanging on to this kind of like young self of being an indie.
He's 35 years old. He's still hoping to make it
Yes.
in the music scene.
Yes.
And he doesn't even have a driver's license.
That's right.
And so she's carrying the load. And how many times have we seen this?
Well, even in our own families, we've seen this.
You bet.
The male has less ambition. You know, feels like he's got ambition, but he's not really pushing himself.
A close friend of ours once said to me, why am I the only one in my family with ambition?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she has a very talented husband who just isn't going out and using his talent. And,
Yeah.
so, and it strikes me, how many times. Now, I have daughters who are fortunately in relationships that aren't like this.
Yes, yeah.
But could be any minute because they're strong. And a
Yes,
strong woman
strong.
today has a chance of being
Yeah,
what was the male for
Yeah.
hundreds of years.
and you get kind of a sense, and I won't give it away, but kind of a twist ending of this movie. And you could see where, which one has the dominant personality,
Yeah.
type of thing. But
Yeah.
anyhow,
And what I like about this, what I think makes it literate, when not all horror films are literate, but the whole allusion to Plato's theory
yes,
of the separation, that we were all connected,
yes,
back to back, head to
Yes.
head,
yeah,
and that Zeus was envious or worried about our
Yeah.
power,
Yeah.
so he just split us right in half.
Right.
Thank you, and
Yeah.
now we're spending thousands of years
Yeah.
searching out our other half.
Well, yeah, and which is interesting because it even goes back to the Judeo-Christian belief, of Adam and Eve. Because where did Eve
Sure,
come
good
from?
one.
She just didn't walk out of the forest bare naked, to say hi
great.
to Adam.
Yeah,
She came from his rib.
yeah.
So, and how many times have we heard of people talk about, oh, my better half, or in movie, oh, you complete me, type of thing. And it's
Yeah.
kind of, it really is a movie. And I know we'll get to at the end when you ask, if
Yeah.
I recommend it. It's a thinking movie.
Yeah.
And definitely because of its pacing,
Yeah.
kind of slow pacing. It's not your typical horror film that some people may find it disturbing, may find it boring.
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of to tell people, oh, this is a great film. I know you, I think you'd like it. This is one of those, on the other hand, that I would say, I know you, and I don't think that you'd like it, even though that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and another part of it, another literate part of it, and another platonic part of it, is when they trip into a cave.
Yes.
Above ground cave, and such tropes as the people who love horror films will love it. There's water down there. I think both of us yelled out since there's nobody else in the
Don't,
cave.
yes,
Not
we both
drink that
don't
water.
drink the water. Because at the beginning, we could kind of see, and this is what I like about, because I like my crime shows, and stuff like that, the mysteries. And at the beginning, there's a search for a missing couple, and the search party come across, and these two dogs drink it. And right at the beginning, and then boom, we go into the main plot of this
Does
couple.
anything happen when they drink it, or is that just?
They just stand there looking at each other, kind of like,
Yeah.
Something's weird's
Right.
happening.
Yeah.
And hopefully it wouldn't be like one of the better body horror films from about 40-some
Yeah.
years ago, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
And we could see what happens when poor dogs get mangled up with something.
Well, when they emerge from the cave, now they stay in the cave because of the storm.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is another thing we wouldn't have advised them to do, but okay, if that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
And it reminds me that Plato had discussed
Yes.
the fact that we're all in the cave until we come out of the cave into the light.
Oh, yep,
And
yep.
So I think that they're trying to not try to be smart ass.
Yes.
It's just giving us a little bit, us humanities types,
Yeah.
just a little bit more to go on.
Well, but also, we know that cave is trouble because there's some like rough-looking pews in there, and these bells with look like kind of a starburst design on these.
Yeah.
And is this going to be a place where Satanists go to war, and make sacrifices?
And I know that I know we'll begin to talk about horror films, other horror films, but one that strikes me coming right from this is The Descent.
Yeah, oh, definitely. That I like that
And
one.
some of our college
Yes.
types, the girls go down into the cave.
Yes.
Spelunk into the
Yeah.
cave.
Half a dozen little advising assistant types, go down. Oh, and I like that, and my DVD has the alternate endings. And it's really interesting because I saw it on DVD. I didn't see it at the theater, and I can't remember the exact ending that that one had in the
Oh, heck, and
theaters.
you know me, I can't remember endings for anything. But what I do remember is how they love to depict these humanoids who are
Yeah,
living down there.
Yes.
And none of them can see for anything, because
No.
they're all blind.
yeah, but they're like moles, or, blind as a bat, because they have the sonar type of, at least they have their hearing.
Yeah. Well, so, what do you think about the title, Together? How do you think that fits?
Well, it plays on the two things. One, it plays on what the horror element of the film is, and the other one, it plays on this 10-year relationship that they haven't had sex for a while. And boy, you talk about that we both just cringed and kind of yelled
Yep.
out loud.
Yep.
And I think there was just one other person in the theater, so he probably way in the back thinking, "Oh, what a couple nuts these are," sitting down front. But we both the sex scene between the two of them.
Yeah, it's very aggressive. It must be that water.
Okay, it could be.
Yeah.
But we get kind of a hint early on in the cave when they fall asleep and they wake up, and their thighs, because they were both wearing
Sticky
shorts,
situation.
they were stuck to each other, and as they kind of pulled apart,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, when you rip a Band-Aid off the wound, that it's kind of like it just wasn't sticky, it was hurtful and damaged their upper dermis, their skin.
I think that you've hit on what really intrigues me about this movie. It's just not like any other I've seen. And that whole sticky business, which is cringeworthy.
And the sex scene, cringeworthy.
Are different from what we're
It's
used
kind
to.
of like, but it also brings up the mind because, like I said, they a 10-year relationship, and they decide to try to put some life back in the relationship before he goes on. He's like a kind of unemployed musician, but he's going on a tour with his buddy's band, and they decide to move from the city to a very desolate house in the
And
country.
she takes a job, obviously not big paying.
Yes.
But she takes a job, she's still carrying the load as a teacher.
Exactly. And their only neighbor who happens to work with her at the school, and I've seen him in shows like Law and Order and CSI, various films like that. And he does a very good job. Friendly, but very creepy.
Damon Hermanian or something
Yes,
like that.
yes. And I've seen him, and he's usually played kind of a creepy type of character.
All right, Wayne Miller.
Yes.
The
Okay.
film is Together, and people will have to go to our website, WCBE.org,
Yes.
to the podcast experience, and to double take in order to get the full explanation we'll give later on.
Yes.
What do you advise our audience?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, if you like a really kind of thinking horror movie, I would recommend it. But it certainly isn't for everybody, and I don't think, if a kid sees it, they need to be at least high school age.
And if you're a couple and you're uncertain about your relationship, this is the one you want to see because you're not alone.
Yes, that's right.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high.